Hey guys, back, another video. I want to talk about WWE and just pro wrestling again. First off, I want to say this, and I know I see, mainly it's on TikTok, but I always see people hating on someone just because they have a different opinion. I'll say this when it comes to pro wrestling. I'm a WWE fan, I'm an AEW fan, I'm a Ring of Honor fan, I'm an Impact Wrestling fan, I'm somewhat of a New Japan fan, I'm an NWA fan, I'm everything, mate. That's the main thing, pro wrestling. If it's pro wrestling, more than likely, I like it. Because pro wrestling is pro wrestling. Different companies, the only difference. The company you're under is the only difference. Pro wrestling is pro wrestling. Got that out of the way. Pete Dunne debuted tonight on Smackdown. And his tradition with United Kingdom wrestlers, he was given a name change. And I'll say this, at least this theme is still the name of a badass. Butch is his new name. Let's look at least the top two worst name changes that I can think of when it comes to the United Kingdom wrestlers. Piper Niven being transformed into Dewdrop. Piper Niven is in the United Kingdom, is one of the most hardcore, violent motherfuckers in the women's division. You watch her street fight matches. I think a street match with Kaylee Ray, and it'll shock the hell out of you. She's violent as all hell. Into Dewdrop. What is wrong with the name Piper Niven? What is wrong? I'm now believing anytime they're changing a name, it's what happened with Walter, who is our next on this top 3 list. Walter's name changed to Gunther. We still call him Walter. He did it because he didn't want WWE trademarking his name. Understandable, and for now, I am believing that is the thing. They didn't want to copyright this name, or trademark it, that's it. They didn't want the trademark on this name to where if they go somewhere else and he used the name Walter or Pete Dunne, WWE makes money. It's understandable. But this is the thing. Butch is the best of the worst bunch. Because it seems like he's still this frustrated, hot-tempered badass that he was in NXT. He's still the bruiserweight. He's still, at least from what I've seen, he's still the bruiserweight. He's still an ass kicker. He's still that. Plus, a faction of Pete Dunne, Sheamus, and Rich Holland, confusing how he kept his name. That 3-man faction right there, after King Woods and now Big E after that. My God, please feel better, dude. After all 3 members of the New Day get better, I'd like to see that in a rivalry. Also, which belt do I have? The big one? Yeah. With Kofi Kingston pretty much that's looking like he's going to be solo, maybe going for this. I'd love to see Kofi Kingston win some gold again. Because I know he's never going to win the WWE Championship again, with Roman Reigns going to be let's face it, Brock Lesnar's not winning that match. With Roman Reigns going to become the undisputed champion, this is going to be Kofi's only grasp into singles gold on SmackDown, the Intercontinental title. Plus, a match between Kofi Kingston and Ricochet would actually be pretty fun to see for the Intercontinental title. Yeah, I just want to say my opinion on the Butch thing. Not the worst, but still pointless. There have definitely been worse name changes. Again, I at the moment cannot think of any more aside from Dewdrop and Gunther. If you can think of other name changes, please let me know in the comments. And again, that faction has potential. Actually, since I'm here and I have nothing really else to say about... Actually, I wanted to say this. Why do people get so pissy with others for having a different opinion on a company? Again, this mainly on this toxic community of people. But it feels like if people give an opinion on something WWE does, they'll immediately call like an AEW dick sucker. Same with AEW, they'll call AEW dick sucker, WWE dick suckers, anything. Can you not give an opinion on something anymore? Are people so scared of opinions that I said this before, they're so scared of something that's not a part of the hive mind. This hive mind they've created, to where Everything's perfect. Everything you have to agree with everything Tony Khan does. Agree with everything Vince McMahon does. No, I can disagree with stuff Tony Khan does. For this, I truly believe that he sometimes picks up too much talent, to where and I'll make an excuse for this. That's why he has three. That's why AEW has the three shows. With how large AEW's roster is, it is hard in time to pick off some certain superstars. Let's hear something. He signed Jay Lethal. Barely done anything with Jay Lethal. I'm definitely upset about that. He's not been on Dynamite in fucking a long time. Last time I saw Jay Lethal, he lost to Ricky Starks in a very awesome match for the FTW World Title. There's another thing, the FTW Championship. I remember when it was first brought in with Cage and Taz. They made it this big deal, and now it's just Ricky Starks' entrance accessory. But this is what I'll say about AEW. They know which guys to use. They know which characters to use enough. And they know when to kill certain things. The Pinnacle was a good heel faction, but it wasn't really going anywhere. So they kind of just broke it up, but they're still together, just not as the Pinnacle. It's still these solo superstars. Wardlow, becoming one of the most over superstars, are now once again using him more. Because remember, about 2 years ago, he was still nothing more than MJF's bodyguard. Now, he's the guy everyone wants to see win the title. Here's the thing I hate, but I know why he's doing it. Jade Cargill's undefeated streak. First off, I just was going to say, Jade Cargill, while is impressive, she's still very, as her costume was in Revolution, she's still very green. Where she's 29-0, so she's very something there, but don't say booking. But she's still rough around the edges of wrestler. It still seems like she's kind of like the women's Goldberg, where she's just plowing through everybody. And I'll always say this: the TBS title was made for Jade Cargill, just so they can get her out of the AEW women's title. And yeah, that's why with how massive their roster is, that's why I believe they have Dark and Elevation and Rampage. They have 4 shows. My apologies, not 3, 4. Well, Rampage is kind of more their Smackdown, to where Dark and Elevation are their main event and Velocity, if you remember that show. Let's see, is there anything else I want to talk about before I get to this other thing I wanted to do? Can't think of anything, so it's double Scorpio read. There's the 11th. I'm also noticing something. First off, I missed yesterday because I thought I lost these things, so I was turning my room completely upside down looking for them. So yeah. Okay. Yesterday, the 10th, and that was Mario Day. I keep forgetting about that day actually existing. You can become more curious now as Mercury enters your romance and creative zone. That zone, one of those zones is always vacated for me. This might be the best time to find your muse and express yourself from the depths of your heart. Deep and intense issues can fascinate you, but can also take you away from your true north. Okay. And today, the 11th. Home is where you feel safe and nurtured. It's also where you obtain food for your soul and feel part of the bigger picture. You may be reminiscing about traveling or planning a new trip to a beloved part of the world. Friends from abroad could be more nurturing than family now. Okay, there's the reading. And is there anything else I really want to talk about? Because actually, let me look at something. Let me see if anything else has really happened on SmackDown. Because I just saw the Butch thing and just thought, oh yeah, I gotta talk about that. Yeah, this rivalry they're doing with the Usos and the Viking Raiders. Sasha and Naomi, I'm gonna guess build momentum to Triple threat. Actually, there's something. The triple threat at WrestleMania for the women's tag team titles. Queen Zelina and Carmella, who are already looking like they're gonna break up that tag team. How shocking! WWE break. There's something that I feel like we can all agree on. Shocker! WWE's breaking up a women's tag team. Defend against Team Bad, basically, minus Tamina, Sasha Banks, and Naomi, versus the again makeshift team of Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. I'm split on this. The smart decision is to give Team Bad the tag team title, since that's a legit tag team with history as a tag team. But my heart wants Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley to win just so Liv Morgan can hold a freaking belt. Rick Boots, 6 on Jey Uso. Oh God, no, don't be this. Day 236 then Impressive Smackdown Tag Team Title Run. Jimmy J. Ah, frick.
It was putting a lot of stress.
I was afraid they would do that, but I also wasn't going to be shocked if they did do it. Rick Boogs and Nakamura gunning for the tag team titles. Yep. Rick Boogs just beat Jey Uso. So now Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura will be challenging for the SmackDown Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. They're still gonna lose! That's actually something else I want to talk about. Shinsuke Nakamura. Why do they put gold on Nakamura then do nothing with him? They'll do a freaking feud for like a week or two or something, then he'll just have an accessory. His 2 reigns as Intercontinental Champion were bullcrap. His best title run was with Cesaro as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And that also took me a while to get used to that tag team, but when it was finally growing on me, oh, New Day are tag team champion. Was it New Day that took the titles off him? Actually, it had to be. Happy Corbin 4-1 assault. Okay, does Drew Happy Corbin now have a freaking faction? Okay, no, I'm now just I just saw the Butch thing to just decide to record this. I haven't seen anything other than off of SmackDown. What is this 4-1 thing with Happy Corbin? He has a faction now. Oh, it's Jinder Mahal and Shanky. Okay. When was the last Happy Corbin match? I just remember Madcap Moss. And the fact that guy is still walking around. Wow, 4-1 and Drew still whoops all their asses. So it's going to be Happy Corbin versus Drew McIntyre. We've been waiting for Happy Corbin to get his ass kicked by Drew McIntyre. And Charlotte Flair, blah, and Ronda Rousey do a promo. I'll admit I'm liking... People keep saying that it should be the other way around with the character. Charlotte being a face, trying to defend WWE against an MMA outsider, and Ronda being a heel since people said she doesn't like doing the face thing. I don't know. It's hard to tell with Ronda in WWE because she's someone that's, I don't know, she's a very interesting person with the WWE. She clearly doesn't like WWE because she's constantly insulted the fans. And not just on TV, like in her life, insulted WWE for saying, doing the obvious, oh, it's fake. Why not just make this a submission match? Yeah, promo. Who is that holding the rope? Just some random nobody. What's she talking about? Charlotte Flair is terrible. Just saying that. Charlotte Flair is just trash. Why not just make this match between Charlotte and Ronda a freaking submission match or something? Because that's kind of how it's felt booked up, hasn't it? It's felt booked as to be a submission match. The armbar and now ankle lock of Ronda Rousey versus the figure 8 of Charlotte Flair. This is a weird wrestling video. I'm sorry. Can't think of anything else because this WrestleMania is gonna pretty much suck. But I'm gonna make a prediction. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna predict this WrestleMania gets a resounding 6 or 7. Actually, there's one last thing I want to talk about before I leave. That's the DLC for WWE 2K22. I don't own the game, but I've seen people talk about the DLC packs. There's some good characters in the packs. The British Bulldog, Umaga, makes a return for the first time in freaking years. Yokozuna, in my opinion, this is a pretty good one. Doink the Clown. People might be confused on that. Let's remember, before Doink became the clown gimmick babyface goofball, he was a very impressive technical mastermind heel wrestler. Go back and watch some of Doink's heel work in WWE. It's very impressive. Oh, the NWO, Three Faces of the Undertaker. I know there's other DLC, but I think Cactus Jack. Oh, man. There is a bunch of good ones. But then there are the two that I just cannot stand that they're actually putting in this. They're putting in Machine Gun Kelly and Logan Paul. And also with 2K22, I'm just so I want the thing. I actually do want this game, but I'm just so nervous. Xia Li's in DLC, which I don't know why since she's a current era superstar. Anyone who's current era, I never understand why it's DLC. Yeah, it is Cactus. I think it's, Stacy Keibler or someone like that. Rob Van Dam. That's shocking that you're giving Rob Van Dam a spot on the DLC. LA Knight. I mean, I'm just gonna say this. All these DLC is nothing compared to just the one unlockable character that the AEW. Oh yes, is Saray DLC? That's actually pretty impressive. I would like Saray. There's be an unlimited gimmick of King Woods for that game. 2K22 Dream Women's roster. Alexa Bliss, Firefly Funhouse, and God. This is also a fake roster. Reckoning alternate version of Mia Yim. That's actually. Hold on, I want to talk. Jeez, I want to talk about that actually real fast. Mia Yim. She got drafted and then did nothing. She did more as Reckoning than Mia Yim on the main roster. It's just crazy. Oh, this is fake. DLC feature packs for WWE. Saray, Aofi Valkyrie, Amelia McKenzie, Zoe Stark, Frankie Monet. That's how you know it's fake. In fact, they put Luna Vachon. I guarantee they would never put Luna Vachon in this game. WWE 2K22 career mode. Start in the BCW. Get signed to NXT. Win the NXT title. Get called up to Raw. Get a gimmick change. Get released. Black screen. Thank you for playing career mode and to be continued in the AEW video game. Sign with AEW feud with Cody. Okay. I'm just going to talk about this. The Cody thing. There are certain points in AEW with Cody Rhodes where I felt like he was overpushed. With Andrade El Idolo, I felt like nothing really came of it. El Idolo's thriving. Malachi Black, he lost the feud with Malachi. He won the feud with Malachi, but look where Malachi is now with the House of Black. Even with the TNT title, he was the one that kickstarted the TNT title. He had awesome title defenses and lost it in badassery to the late Brody Lee. He regained the title in an awesome dog collar match. Then he did the right thing by putting over the right guy at the right time, Darby Allin. Cody is kind of like a John Cena in Triple H, but not He's like that in a good way and a bad way. He's like a John Cena and Triple H from the early 2000s of Triple H with 2004 and Evolution, and John Cena in, let me think, when did people really start to hate John Cena and turn on him? Let's just say the 2010s, around the mid 2000s, the late 2000s. So we're around 2009, 8, and 10. But he also has the good parts where John Cena and Triple H still put over certain talents. Can you ask me? No, I can't, because I can't think of that at this moment. The one time I can remember John Cena truly bearing someone was when Rey Mysterio won the WWE Championship. I don't know why I'm taking this long to end this video, because I keep finding stuff to talk about. That's why. This is, again, going to be Random Wrestling Rant 2. That could be a series. Anyway, I'm now going to just cut this because this has started out very simple. But with me talking about the Pete Dunne name change. Then I just went all over the place with pro wrestling. So I'll end this where I started it. Butch, for a new name for Pete Dunne, is not bad, but it's still unnecessary as all hell.